this month's Pioneer Update. Well, of course, the challenges of COVID remain real and at times very heavy, and we are probably all feeling pretty tired in lockdown number 3. But the fact is, we worship one who never grows tired, one who never grows weary. And he promises that we will walk and we won't faint. And he promises that at the right time, we will run and we won't grow weary, and that we will even soar on wings like eagles. So I'm going to read to you a few verses from the end of Isaiah 40, and let this be a prayer to you. Let it sink deeply into your hearts and into your spirits. Do you not know? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He will not grow tired or weary, and his understanding no one can fathom. He gives strength to us, the weary. He increases the power of us, the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary. Young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. And the reality is, even though this season feels like it's pretty long and tedious, it will end. Seasons end. It's the law of nature. Look outside and see winter turning into spring. And as my friend Phil Knox said recently, we are the good news people in a bad news world. So here's some stories of good news and hope to encourage you. You know, 3.5 million people have started praying since the pandemic. There has been over 5,000 online Alpha courses. Just on the ground, I've heard recently the Doxa Deo in London have got 53 people on their online Alpha course. For us, just locally here in Loughborough, on our second Alpha course, which we're running now, we've got a lady who comes from a Muslim background who has become a Christian through lockdown. We've also got a 4th-year student who is so spiritually hungry, he contacted Alpha centrally and said, are there any Alpha courses that are local to me? God is on the move, and he is more committed to his kingdom advancing and his gospel seeds being sown than even we are. So be encouraged. So what have we got coming up in this update? Well, Richard is going to be sharing with us about our 40 days of prayer for Pioneer. Lou's going to be talking to us about our Pioneer Leaders Conference coming up very soon. Very excited about that. We're going to be hearing from Elaine on ways that we can strengthen the support for safeguarding in our churches. And Joe's going to be talking a little bit about Pioneer Rise. So we're also going to get some feedback about the Women Leaders Conference. You know, normally the Women Leaders Conference is just for Pioneer women leaders, but this year we felt we should open it up far and wide. And you know, 323 women booked on. From C of E, Vineyard, Salvation Army, NFI, Baptist, 24/7 Prayer, even some from the USA and Canada and Cyprus. So there's something about our unique contribution that we have to play as Pioneer in God's wider church, to be able to serve and strengthen women who are called into leadership. So here's some feedback for you.
Hi, I'm Kerry Davis from River Church in the Thames Valley, and I thoroughly enjoyed the Pioneer Women Leaders Conference this year. I went at quite a low ebb, really needing to hear in the core of me from the Lord that he was still calling me to lead his church in this next season, and I just needed to hear him speak to me, and he did. I had in particular a prophetic appointment where I was encouraged to go back to the foundational words. So after the conference I went back and pulled out prophetic words that had been spoken over me some years ago when I took up leadership, and wow, the Holy Spirit used them to speak to me again in this season. And I just know that God is still calling me, and that the gifts that he's given me are what he needs in his church for the next season. So that was just so good. It has brought me so much peace inside to know, and so much encouragement for the journey ahead.
What I loved about the Women's Conference was, of course, gathering with so many on the Saturday from different streams and different networks and the array of seminars, but I found it really impactful meeting with other key leaders like myself on the Friday, who are my own age, who's been involved in ministry for over 30 years, and we were able to go deeper and have quality time.
I am really excited to remind you that bookings are open for this year's annual Leaders Conference. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, and it's happening from the 5th to the 7th of March. We have speaking our very own author of 17 books, well sought after keynote speaker, futurist, and chairman of Global Change Limited, Patrick Dixon. I'm so excited to hear what Patrick has to share with us, because it's always really exciting when he speaks. We've also got the amazing Steve Uppel. Steve leads the All Nations movement and All Nations Church, which is a multicultural, multi-campus church, and he's carrying a key prophetic word for the church in this season. And so we're really excited to receive what he has to bring for us in our context, so we can move forward with what God is calling us to do and be. So on the Friday and the Saturday, we will be engaging via Hopin, where we can listen to talks, we can go into chat rooms, we can go and attend seminars. And then on the Sunday, we will be having our Pioneer Sunday, where all of our churches can join in together for a live stream gathering on YouTube. So look out for more details about the schedule and practicalities around that coming to you soon. But in the meantime, do book on. Encourage your leaders, your members to book on. And if you haven't already seen the absolutely fantastic promo video, get onto our YouTube page, watch the video and share the video. Let's continue to build momentum. And it's been so exciting to see people praying for one another leading up to this conference. God is doing something amazing in our time, and we are just so excited to see what he's going to do with us that weekend. So let's be expectant, let's book on, let's keep praying, and we will see you there.
Well, right now we are in the middle of our 40 days of prayer leading up to the annual Leaders Conference at the start of March. And I just want to say a huge thank you. We're so blessed, so encouraged by the way so many churches have responded. It's been great to see examples of churches sending prophetic words to one another, words of encouragement that have come out of their times of praying for one another, and to know that we're all coming together to pray for the network as a whole. It is fantastic to feel part of something bigger, to feel part of something that we're doing together, supporting one another, encouraging one another as we all take part in God's amazing mission together. So thanks again for taking part, and we really look forward to hearing more testimonies of what has come out of this time of praying for one another.
I'm Elaine Davidson, Pioneer Safeguarding Advisor. My heart is to journey with churches to maintain and develop safeguarding standards across the network and make safeguarding as supportive as possible. Over the last few years, Pioneer has carried out safeguarding audits to check churches have up-to-date safeguarding policies, good recruitment materials, procedures to report concerns, and that regular safeguarding training is in place. Many of our last audits showed really good standards across the network, although several churches flagged difficulty in providing regular training for staff and volunteers. We felt it was sensible to address the issues churches were raising and to provide resources to support the different gaps being highlighted. Our first training film and workbook was launched at last year's Pioneer Conference, based on an NSPCC accredited course I run for churches. Please do try this out if you haven't already, it's free. We have also been updating other safeguarding resources you may be interested in, which will be outlined in February's newsletter. Finally, in 2021, we really need to have an update on how safeguarding is going across the network and how we might support you with any safeguarding gaps you may have. We have a short interactive checklist to complete, which will show Pioneer takes safeguarding seriously, and we are doing our best to ensure children and other vulnerable groups are protected when attending our activities. We will aim to send the safeguarding checklist out to you in February. And should you have any queries, then please do email either myself or one of the team on safeguarding@pioneer.org.uk. Thank you so much for your support with this. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hey Pioneer, it's Joe here. Just wanted to give you a quick update on Rise, which is our community of emerging leaders in their teens, 20s and 30s in Pioneer. There's been some good stuff happening. Last month in January we had a Zoom call, which I know doesn't sound that exciting, but trust me it was. We had about 20 young leaders on that call, just getting to know each other, connecting in different ways, using breakout rooms as you do. And I just wanted to kind of promote another one that's coming up at the end of this month. So on the 22nd of February, which is a Monday night at 8 p.m, we're going to have round 2 of the Rise Zoom. We'd love to have as many of you as possible. We know there's more than 20 of us. So if you're a leader, as I've just mentioned, emerging in those age brackets, get involved. And if you're sort of a senior leader in your church and you know there are people who you could take a punt on in leadership, get them connected with us, because we'd love to just build community with them, encourage, inspire and connect them to what Pioneer is doing. And also just to say to any risers watching this that the annual Leaders Conference coming up for us in a few weeks' time is just something to definitely prioritise and get along to. And I know that previously you might have thought, Leaders Conference, do I fit? A lot of you have been before, which is great, but this is an opportunity where everyone's going to get involved with the conference. With it being online, with us doing things a bit differently, the doors really are open quite wide, and we would really love to get a load of you guys involved so that you can see what we're about in Pioneer, you can hear from great people, get inspired and encounter God together and partner with Him for what is to come. And we have high hopes for what is to come, and that's one of the things why this conference is called Future Now, believing that what is to come is brilliant, is worth investing in, but also that we're partnering with God to usher it into the present. And that really matters to young and emerging leaders especially as well. So that really is everything I have to say about Rise. Thank you everybody for your support with it, and let's continue to push on up and rise on up.
So from all of us to all of you, bye!